What's flooded the timelines? Everything you see about being out in space, and they want to know what's going on. Where do you see most of the sightings at? Of course, New Jersey, seen many of them. And of course, I look at them, I was like, okay, it's definitely a bunch of drones. So my question is, where are they coming from? Um, First thing comes to mind with me is, there wasn't too long ago where I want to say it was either China, somewhere in Asia where you had one of the largest drone shows in the world, where you had a bunch of these drones that were damn near operating like pixels, projecting the image. It was just so many drones. So of course the technology is there. So I'm not alarmed to the point to where I'm started, you know, fall with the, it must be, extraterrestrials, or it must be UFOs. Nah, that just seemed too easy, especially with how science fiction is, and how it just falls in line with the typical um, you know potential space invasion. They want us to think something like this is about to happen. Oh wow. But of course, in my mind, and of course, my sources that I keep tabs with, we know that if it was something that deep, they would have alarmed us to pretty much, protect yourselves. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, the higher ups, or the government, they either know it, they know who it is, or they're a part of it. So of course, I dig a little deeper, then come to find out that, yeah, they're aware of these drones, probably because they're using them. And why would they have so many drones so visible? Well, it's floating out there that they're looking for nuclear weapons, or they have reason to believe that it's nuclear activity, or wherever this presence is at, it has to be somewhere in the Northeast. Why? Because that's where you see the most drones at. And the government is not acting alarmed and acting like, oh wow, where are these drones coming from? They know, because in my opinion, they're using them. The surveillance, or look for something that's missing. And to me, that should be probably more alarming, that the rumors out there that it is drones surveillance and looking for a nuclear weapon. At this stage of the game, anything's possible. Anything's possible as far as that goes. So I don't know what to say, man. That has me on the edge, but at the same time, only thing you can do is control what you can control, which is, what happens in your world and your four corners, your four walls, your world, your economy. That's the only thing you really can worry about, or really things that you can control. Something like that, you just don't have no control over it. So it's liable to pop off any moment, but we at the mercy of whatever they say happens. We don't know. We don't have a clue. So I'm gonna keep digging. If I come across something, you better believe I'm gonna let you guys know. Um, so just because a brother don't have a huge internet presence, don't mean I can't get the information. Now, what's up, Lexi? How's it going? She says, aren't those astronauts still stranded in space? Oh yeah, they couldn't have let us know. Yeah, that does kind of make sense. Like, when you think the folks in the space station be, hey, look, those aliens, they coming in by the fleet. Yeah, I just saw it's another one that's coming on the way. So yeah, that's a good point, Lexi. Very good point. You know, they would see it first. Yeah. In my mind, this is some domestic, something local, and if it is something foreign, it's probably from another country, not necessarily from outer space or some alien. To me, that just seems too typical for them to they just run away with their imagination, if you ask me. So nah, I'm not going for that one. I think they would be a whole lot more elaborate than just hovering over New Jersey out of all places. Just no, I just don't see it. I'm not gonna go to the extent that Neil deGrasse. He was like, well, why would they go to New York out of all places? Why did they go to New Jersey out of all places? There's nothing there. Had me cracking up. But I think it's something there, and if it is something there, I don't think it's nothing alien. It's like I said, I think it's something domestic, something that's probably looking for some type of nuclear weapon or something to that extent. I pray that it's not that, but it sure is, fishy for that, for those drones to be hovering around there. But yeah, that's definitely something we're going to keep our eyes on. I'm pretty sure that's going to be a hot topic for quite some time until they get to the bottom of it. This I don't think this is going to be one of them topics that just disappear and go away, and that's just we just won't. We're going to be distracted to the point we're not going to ask any questions. Once you start dabbling with, if the possibility of extraterrestrial may go to war with us or invasion, nah, you're not gonna shake. But then again, people attention span is, so I don't know. But definitely gonna roll up out of there and on to the next subject. Now, one state over in the beautiful state of Tennessee, there seems to be a lot of Venezuelan gang activity in all the major cities over there, from Chattanooga to Nashville to Memphis. It's a heavy. They say it's a heavy gang presence over there. So much to the point that the governor was like, "Yeah, you know what? We're gonna go ahead and get this National Guard ready. Yeah, we're gonna get them ready to do some basically like a deportation mission, something like ICE. I guess they're gonna use, instead of ICE, they're gonna use the doggone the National Guard. So this is gonna be interesting, to see how this play out. Because if it is that situation where the Venezuelan gangs are there, we know how they go hard for their turf, and if they're on their mission, they want to die for theirs. So yeah, I don't see that being pretty if it is the situation. But it is alarming that Tennessee, the governor went to the extent to pretty much give the green light basically to the National Guard to go ahead and get ready to do a deportation mission. So we'll see. I mean, we know that certain cities, especially the red states, they're going to take care of their red territories, and they're going to make sure that they deal with the immigration issue. And maybe this could be an intimidation tactic to where they just put the news out there. They're going to do this just to hope that folks just start packing up and leaving. But I doubt it, man. If anyone took that extent to get over here, go through all that trouble to get over here, I don't see them just packing up and leaving. So that's another one of those stories you're gonna have to keep an eye on, because I'm pretty sure, if you haven't already known, some states, I want to say it's Missouri, one of those Midwest states, to where I think they're going to do something along the lines of a reward, having like a cash reward, like $1,000. If you can report, an illegal immigrant and get it captured. So if that's the case, boy, that's gonna be a cold state, whatever that's at. Folks gonna be ratting left and right, like, yeah, I'm over here by their crib right now. They over here on 231 Star Street. Yeah, a whole house full of them. Now you gonna give me 1,000 per head, right? Folks gonna be rounding them up left and right. Shoot. Not only, if anything, they'll probably get them a green light to capture them. You know what I'm saying? So that's, ain't no telling what's gonna happen, especially once January hit and old Trump get in the office. You ain't no telling what they authorize. I'd be surprised though. I honestly don't see them going after them as that hard. They'll probably go after the gangs, at least the ones that's affecting their community. But if they can get free labor or cheap labor out of a situation, or for their corporate buddies, they're not gonna round them up like that. That's just my opinion. I think they enjoy the profit margins too much. At the end of the day, that is what's most important in a lot of these corporations and capitalistic companies. That's what they're going to think of, how they can get that profit margin from here to here. And if this means getting rid of staff that's eating up the majority of that pie, they're gonna put the cheap labor in there. It's a win-win situation because they'll make sure that they have housing provided for them, make sure they give them just enough to get by, but it'd be a hell of a lot cheaper than paying a full-time American employee. So it's something to think about. Something to think about, and keep an eye on Tennessee. And I want to say that's Missouri though, the one that says $1,000 for if you can turn in an illegal alien. I say, damn. But not gonna hang too much onto that. But we're definitely going to stay on the topic of geography, I guess you want to call it. Especially when it comes to our ties with Canada. Usually we have a pretty good relationship. Hell, that's our neighbor, right? But with Trump coming in, getting ready to, lay out his brand or his regime or his way of running the country, he's going to go tariff crazy. At least that's what he said he's going to do. He's going to go tariff crazy, and he's going to tariff this country, get tariffs for that, and even to the point to where Canada is under that bull's eye as well. Like, yeah, we're going to put tariffs on them as well. High tariffs. And, tariffs is bad business, to me, especially when you talk about your next door neighbor. And so, but the Canadian leadership over there, they responded like, hey, okay, go ahead and you jack up those tariffs real high for us. Here's what we'll do. We'll just cut off the U.S. energy supply that we give you. So that's going to affect Michigan. A lot of those areas in that's close to Canada that relies on the power source or energy from Canada. It's going to be interesting to see, how this play out. It's serious business, And I'm hoping it's something that that Trump will come to his senses and be like, hey man, you can't just be waging wars against anybody, especially your next door neighbor. And don't take nobody lightly or take them for granted like they can't do anything. I honestly don't see this playing out like that. I think cooler heads will prevail in this situation, especially being that Canada's a neighbor. I don't think they'll cut the energy supply off to the U.S. It's just like I don't think Trump would really hit him over the head with the tariffs like that. But that's one of the situations to keep an eye on. Like, come on, man. The last thing we need is a whole bunch of guns pointing at us as a country, And that's what we're looking at when you have somebody coming in with this cowboy mentality and on just thinking they can just bully and think that's just going to go over smoothly without no consequences. It's always consequences, But no, we'll definitely keep our tabs on that situation and hope that cooler heads prevail, like I said, and there's nobody getting the lights shut off in the Great Lakes area or anywhere surrounding, because Canada does have energy supply that they provide to our country. So yeah, when he said elections, they threatened 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico. That's high as a mother. Who gonna pay for that? Who at the end of the day, when those tariffs go to the final product, who you think is gonna pay for that? That's right. We gonna pay for it, or the people gonna pay for it. So it's not a good business. 25% tariff, man. Come on, man. That ain't. That I just don't like the taste of that, man. I just see a lot of BS with it. If anything, companies gonna start jacking their prices up now to brace for it. That's not sustainable though. I just don't see it. 25% tariff. Nah. I pray that doesn't happen, but we've been under the Trump regime before, so No, I don't see 25. Come on, no, I don't see that. But we shall see. We shall see. Well, on to the next topic. Now this next topic, man, is probably can't see the picture, man. But but I can definitely dive into it. Um this is a situation where a mom is laying on the bed, right? And it sounds like it's a teenage daughter that's waking her up, like she just discovered something. So the daughter's saying, "Mama, um, you took my birth certificate, and you know, and the teenage girl, her father had recently passed or whatever, right? Anytime there's the death or anything in that situation, and if a father in this particular situation, he had an insurance policy that he left for his daughter, the mother took the daughter's birth certificate. Of course, you know, when you got a birth certificate, you can pretty much put the claim out there to get the money from the insurance policy. But the insurance policy was in the daughter's name, so of course she used the daughter's used the daughter's birth certificate to retrieve the money, and she must have spent it all, whatever, because of course the daughter just got wind of it, and she confronting her about it. She waking her up, like, "Hey, why you take my birth certificate and get the money from my insurance policy? That was for me." So of course the mom, she just like, "What are you talking about? What are you talking about? That he never paid child support, so that was my money." Like, "No, it wasn't. That was, that was put in my name." She said, "You took my birth certificate and you used that money." She's like, "What do you mean birth certificate? I gave you that name. I gave you that name, and that and your father was a deadbeat, never paid me my money." So first of all, the question was the mother in the wrong? What y'all think? What you think? Me personally, hell yes, the mother was in the major wrong on this one. Because look how the daughter found out. It wasn't even told directly from the mother. She must have stumbled across this maybe through a family member, or who knows, a letter in the mail. But regardless how she found out, she knew. And then the mother was just so, dismissive and just trying to justify on why she did it. Like, come on, man, you can't do your daughter. Like, come on, man. Whatever issue you had with your ex, in regards to child support, that has nothing to do with that insurance policy. Lexi says definitely in the wrong. Can't get back child support, but you can set her up for the future with that money. Exactly. That was gonna be my thoughts. Exactly. Definitely could have set the child up for the future, but we know, by the way this conversation is going, that didn't happen. A car must have got purchased. Daughter must have came home and just probably was 110-inch screen TV on the wall. Some brand new rims on the vehicle. Probably paid for a trip to go get some cosmetic surgery. You know how folks do when they get money and they ain't used to having it. They blow it just as quick as they touch it. They blow it. So for me, that's a major L. She ruined her relationship with her daughter with that one. Yeah, she ruined it, because that was foul. How she should have done it, pretty much like how Lexi said. She should have went ahead and put that money up for her daughter, since it was in her name. Look, after all, you wanted to contribute to the daughter anyway, right? Let the daughter decide what's best for it. I'm gonna sip to that one. That's just dead wrong. So I hope it was worth it, because I guarantee you, that daughter will never forget that. You don't know what kind of relationship she done had with her father. And then for her father to leave something behind, because parents go through their thing. Especially when it's a divided situation like that, where where you co-parenting and you just don't know. You don't know what's going on, and the child's not going to choose. But one parent's gonna always try to pit the other one against them. Like, well, your daddy ain't ish, or your mom ain't your mommy ain't ish, and the child don't they neutral in the situation. So in regard, you never know what happens. So you're gonna love both of them the same. But when somebody leaves some money aside for you like that, insurance policy, don't be selfish and just try to just take it and then just run off with it. And like I said, being that the daughter brought it to attention, some time had passed and she just found out, and it wasn't from the mother. So good luck for that situation. I definitely gonna pray for that situation, because I don't see nothing good coming out of that one. She gonna resent moms for quite some time for that one. So, yeah, that's tough right there, boy. Yep. But on to the next subject. Now, I'm a big time cruiser. I love to go cruising. That's like one of my favorite pastimes, man. Going out to Royal Caribbean or Celebrity. Those cruises where you ain't got to worry about no ratchetness. It's just paradise on water. You get out there and there's so many activities to do, and the food is A1. But this situation right here in Royal Caribbean, day one, just a few hours into the cruise, you see this gentleman behind me with no shirt on. Guess he didn't have, one or two drinks or whatever, 3 or 4 maybe, enough for him to, start wilding out. How some folks would, when they get enough drinks in them, boy, they turn up and want to fight. To me, that's the person that don't need to drink, So I don't know what he had to drink or how many drinks he had, but if you look at some of the pictures and some of the videos, he kicked, fighting staff, trying to kick in doors. This dude was just not himself. He was like a man possessed. So of course, when enough of the security got around him, they finally subdued him or whatever. They injected him with something once they tied him up, but once they got enough arms, and they inject him with some sedative or something. So, a little time goes by, and he passed away. So it was just something that was just eerie. Of course, when you look into the loved ones, the neighbors, people who knew him, they said that was basically something that was totally out of character for him to even act that way. Like they say he doesn't act that way. So I don't know if they were just trying to protect him, or because when you pass away, people are always going to say, "Oh well, he was just such a nice guy." But who knows, right? I don't know. But it kind of made me think, though. He did. If he got the drink package, there's always a drink package with cruise ships. What they get? What did he drink? That's gonna be my first question for him. If this is totally out of character from him, what did they give him to drink? Was it something bad? Was it something that was tainted? Was it something that kind of that took him out psychologically? Who knows? I don't know what's up with that drink package, but that package took him out. I was like, damn, I saw that. I'm like, this is just odd, especially first day. You walking out like this? Nah, something had to have been slipped in this drink. He must have been drinking with somebody, and somebody must have slipped something in his drink, and he just lost it. But it's a shame, man. Anyone that ever that goes cruising, man, they know that's something to, it's such a chill environment. You can't even imagine someone just wild out like this. This is like a combination of having your ideal dream hotel on paradise, because everything you need is there. So who knows what happened? Definitely praying for his family, and loved ones. For him to die like that is it's just bananas, man. That's just the best way to say it. But I'm still going to cruise, man. Definitely gonna still cruise. And it's like I said, one of the more funner ways to vacation, because everything you need is right there on this huge vessel with so many activities, gymnasiums, clubs, spa, all types of eateries, and man, it's. But something like this can happen. You talking about some ships are capable of holding 4,000 or 5,000 passengers. So all it takes is one. I ain't gonna say one idiot, but all it takes is one person to kind of put a damper on the cruise. But I'm sure they like anything else, they took them to the holding quarters, and that's a whole different section of the ship to where you can hold people like that, whether it's medical or detention from criminal activity. They have a whole section on the boat there where you can disappear and no one would know. It'd be business as usual. But like I say, definitely praying for his family to have to go on a vacation and lose a husband and father. But damn, look, I got a shirt off. Man, whatever he had to drink, y'all need to let me know what did y'all get him, because I don't want no parts of it. No parts of it. Yep. You said, Lexi said, mixing sedatives with alcohol is very dangerous, especially if he has some underlying health problems. That's true too. That's true. You see that? Because he got that, the stomach. You see that stomach? That's like, That's that. Ain't no telling. You can tell you one in the best of shape. So, mixing that, like you said. But yeah, no, in seriousness, mixing the sedatives and alcohol, ain't no telling what they gave him to drink, and it can happen. You can drink something and then just totally lose it all. So I will hope he wasn't around somebody, and it's easy for you to leave your cup open and then somebody slip something in it, and you just cheers. Before you know it, you're kicking in somebody's door and they tackling you, putting a sedative into you, and then your heart will just stop beating. So yeah, that's horrible, and just prayers to his family, man. That's all I got to say about that. It's terrible. Whew. On to the next subject, man. Now we're going to talk about this middle school teacher that that resigned after I guess the best way to do is look behind me. The video. If I have to talk about the video, and I can only go so much into it, because when it starts off, the student and the teacher were kind of face to face, so we don't know how they ended up there. We don't know. We couldn't see anything that happened up to that point, so it's kind of hard to judge to see what really happened. Because according to the mom was like, well, the teacher made some remarks about the student's mother, which is the woman that was talking. I guess he made some side remarks about how fine his mother looked, or things he wanted to do to his mother, but enough for the student to be like, don't talk about my mama. So I'm like, okay, in my mind, I'm like, okay, if that was the case, then and of course you can't expect kids to just be logical thinkers and just say, okay, well, that's inappropriate, I need to go talk to the principal, or so I need to go to the office. And that's to me, that's a situation where if someone's speaking sexually about your mom, man, your mom got a big ass. Oh man, your mom, all right. If it was something along them lines, you don't have to come back to the teacher. Look, man, don't be talking about my mama like that. Yeah. You don't have to. First of all, you putting yourself in a no-win situation, because you're a child and you're gonna try to confront an adult, and that's never gonna be a great outcome. So if it was truly along the lines of him making a sexual comment about the student's mother, you got students that's there other students that's in the classroom who could be witnesses that can say, hey, yeah, the teacher was out of line, making sexual comments about the students' mom, and then it's open shut. So, but being that the video starts and you just see the student getting collared and getting tossed across some desk, I mean, that wasn't a good look either. A teacher shouldn't have to be put in a position to have to grab a student and toss them. So for me, I don't know how much to put into, just like I said, because it was a limited amount of video and I couldn't really see how I got to that point. Because we also know there's some children, especially middle school and high school, that they'll measure up a teacher and just be disrespectful and then walk up on them like an adult. So we don't know, based off of the footage, if that's what really happened. So, and in that situation, if a student's, call himself trying to size up a teacher or trying to step to him or trying to put hands on him, you leave. Then now you put the teacher in the self-defense mode. Now I wouldn't have went to the extent he did and tossed him about, pushed him across a bunch of desks, because one, you can hurt the child, you can hurt the other students, and you pretty much run up a high tab for the education system that you're working for a lawsuit. Now if you subdue somebody, that's one thing. Somebody trying to put hands on you, just kind of restrain them and you hold them, almost letting them know that, hey, I'm stronger than you. I could hurt you, but I'm not. I'm just trying to hold on to you until we can get another administrator in here that can diffuse the situation. That's, to me, that's the way to go about it. But just take him and just throw him like he jazz on the Fresh Prince, being tossed from the house. Yeah, you could do it, but you putting your job and you putting your the school system in a situation where they're gonna have to pony up a lot of bread. Especially if not only if the student get hurt, but other students get hurt. So it isn't worth it to just toss them across the room like that. You're an adult, you can hurt that boy in more ways than he can imagine, but you got to show good restraint. You got to show restraint. And there should be more of a male presence or male teachers out there that that can collar these little disrespectful boys, but not to the point that where you got to toss them across the room. You can call them though, and hold them and hold them so that the administrator can diffuse the situation, but can't toss them, man. That's the no-win situation. They gonna say, you the professional. And my man resigned. Who knows? He probably was one of those type of good guys that just wanted to give it a shot because of the lack of male presence. And I believe they're really, really needed for, especially the boys, when it comes to teaching. It's almost like you gotta have cameras all over you. Nowadays, you just gotta have cameras just to protect yourself, so that I think if kids, and I won't say all cases, but I definitely would say most, they knew cameras was on them at all times and their parents had access to watch them at any time, any moment. And it's like they could pretty much use it like DVR. They could rewind it and see what you've been doing. If the kids know they had that kind of presence, they wouldn't act the same. It's sad for you to even need to have that type of surveillance. Back in our day, I'm not trying to go the old head approach, but in our day, we didn't act up because we knew we get our ass tore up as soon as we come through that door. Mom will probably get you and daddy probably get you. So it's just different. It's just different, man. These kids today, boy, they know that their mom gonna have their back no matter what, or they dad is gonna have their back no matter what. And who knows? It's a generational thing, Some parents, they just don't think that their kids are capable of acting up, so they'll just automatically side with their kid. Won't listen. They just side with. They just go whatever their kid tell them, and now they talking about suing the school and just not giving no accountability to their child. So not the way to go about it. Not the way to go about it. But this brother right here, he resigned, knowing more likely he just said, "Hey, I gave it a shot. Let me get out of here before I hurt one of them in a way that's gonna cost me." So I'm just thankful nobody really got seriously injured, but gotta have a male presence in the classroom, you know, especially for the kids that like I say that think they can just jump in your face and just be reckless and disrespectful. Nah, nah, that ends here. Nah, Mm-mm. But just thought that was interesting to talk about. But only this last subject is just pretty gonna be straightforward since we are already in the last week of the Christmas madness, and you know how that can be. Folks are getting more and more elaborate with their schemes, whether it's telemarketing schemes or, as you can see behind me, you start to see these fake workers, fake utility workers, fake UPS, Amazon drivers that'll just pull up and try to get you to open your door so they can rob you. So, and I think I want to say you start to see more of these situations right here. When someone's knocking on your door and saying that they have an order to check your furnace, and you like, I ain't calling nobody to come check my damn. What you talking about? So once you start hearing somebody coming unannounced, you need to be like, you might want to keep moving, you know, because they're getting bolder. All they got to do is see you open up halfway, they'll kick it in and bum rush you. Boom. So yeah, you definitely have to be careful with these fake utility slash Amazon drivers. Um, if you know you ain't ordered nothing, and you know you haven't put in no type of request to have your home service, don't open that door. Don't treat them just like you treat the JWs. Just look at the curtain like, and you know it ain't them. If you don't see like the Watchtower pamphlet in their hand or the Awake book, like, get down and get down. But big shout out to my JW viewers, man. Nothing but love, man. But yeah, just definitely be careful. Try not to carry too much cash. Especially we talk about this every year. Going shopping, don't folks go shopping, not paying attention. I would suggest walking in groups. Park close to wherever you shop at. Make sure you park close. What else can I say? The telemarketers, the ones that call. If you ain't familiar with the number, don't answer. Let them leave a voicemail. You know, if somebody sends you something randomly out the blue for a text, our telemarketers get elaborate. They have elaborate schemes now that they'll text you something, and if you click on it, it'll take your information. If you see something that you're not familiar with, delete it, man. Don't even answer it. Just delete it. Take it off. Delete it. Delete it. So that's about it, though. I know next week is Christmas. For me, I'll just be here chilling, eat some good food and stuff like that. I try not to get caught up in the madness, but I definitely use it to my advantage to spend time with the fam. Um, but yeah, definitely praying you guys are playing it safe out there. Enjoy your time don't get caught up in this madness and going broke for one day. Teach your kids that it's about spending time. This period of time is about spending time with your loved ones. Maximize that time. Time, boy, is a precious resource. Don't waste it. Don't waste it being out here shopping and going broke. Don't do it. Get some food, get some meals, get the board games out. You know, talk about what's on the plans for next year. What's start planning. Plan and spend time. That's the best things I can tell you. Don't be out here going broke. Don't do it. If you rock with me on YouTube, subscribe, share with your folks. You know I'm gonna keep them coming. I hope you guys enjoy your holiday. And I'll be popping on. Definitely gonna pop on soon, and I'm sure before the New Year. So definitely stay tuned. But be safe out there, and I'll see you guys hopefully next week. We'll see. I don't see why not, especially with all these drones. But anyway, y'all be safe.